Yo, it's Trent. Hope everyone's having a good day. Make sure you sub, share, like, comment, all that. We got hiding from the cops in a dumpster, and it was fucking nasty. I told a story like this. I told a story about hiding in a garbage can from the cops, but this was like 10 times worse because this was disgusting, and you'll hear why. So, to start off with, I was like 14. I don't even think I was 15. I think I was only vaping, and maybe I'd hit a cart, but I don't even think I'd do that. Maybe though. But I was hanging out with some not great people. I don't even think I've told a story about this group. But not great people. There was I only hung out with them like 2 or 3 times ever, and there was only two other kids besides me on this day. And one of them could drive. So the plan was we were going with one of the kids. He was going to go pick up I think he was picking up a vape or something from a shop. But it was kind of far because at that time there was only one shop that would sell. And it was a small select amount of people, right? So I didn't really want to be like, hey, we can go here and then them not sell. Or the guy working there be like, hey, since you brought people, I won't sell you, you know? So I didn't want to risk that. So I was like, hey, I'll go with you guys wherever you're going, you know? So it was like 20, 30 minutes away maybe, and we're going, and it all goes well, right? Like there was no issues. The driver didn't drive crazy. It was fine, right? But on the way back, I don't know what changed in his head, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to drive reckless, and I'm going to drive fast and speed, and he was doing the shit where he just weaves out of the lanes, you know, no turn signal, just right, left, just flying by people, right? And the road was like, I don't want to say it was a highway, but it was only 2 lanes, but you could fly. It was like the speed limit was like 50 or 60. So you know what I mean? It wasn't a highway, but it was a road where you go fast and it was kind of open, you know? But he was going excessively fast. He was probably going like 80, 90, just whipping through, right? And I remember saying something. I do remember being like, hey, we should chill. Like, no reason to get pulled over, you know? And he was like, we're not going to get pulled over, right? And we didn't. He was right about that, but some other shit happened. So we're flying back into town, right? And we do get into town, and then the speed limit turns to 40, right? Or maybe it's 35, but it's 35 or 40. Slow as fuck, right? This dude is ripping it still. Like, down, like, main roads. He's going, like, 60, 65. I don't think he hit 70, but you know what I mean? He's going, like, highway speeds on the fucking normal, like neighborhood roads. And then he whips into this parking lot, because there's this parking lot that inside the little strip, it was like a pizza place, a 7-Eleven, and there's some other shit in there. I think like a driving school. But anyways, we pull in there and we're sitting in there, right? And a cop comes in pretty quickly behind us, right? And he doesn't turn the lights on, which I guess is important. I'm not really sure. But he didn't turn the lights on, but he did park directly behind us, right? And we sat there for a minute, and the guy's like, you know what? I'm going to park in a different spot. So he waits like 3 minutes. We're just sitting in the car, and he turns right, and he goes around, and he parks in a spot, right? The cop turns, and this time he doesn't park. It's impossible for him to park behind us because we're parked sideways, you know? We're like on one of the side spots facing the road. So it's impossible for him to park behind us, but he parks 2 spots to the right of us, right? And he's looking at us, and I'm like, ooh, this does not feel good, right? And I was assuming that he saw this kid ripping down the street and like just followed us, right? But I was wondering why he didn't pull us over. So I'm not sure. Maybe he like just saw the end of us pulling in like super aggressively. I'm not sure what he saw, right? But one of the kids is like, hey, I'm going to go grab a drink from this 7-Eleven. And the other kid was like, I'm going to grab some pizza, right? I didn't have money on me. I'm like, I'll stay in the car. So they get out of the car and they walk in, and the cop follows the kid into the pizza place. Not the 7-Eleven, but the pizza place, right? He follows that kid out, and he's talking to him, and that kid wasn't driving. He was the passenger, right? And he just walks in behind him, and the kid's ordering pizza, and he talks to him for maybe, like just however long he was waiting for the pizza, like 3 to 5 minutes, right? And he didn't look like he was mad or saying anything bad, right? But when he was walking back, the kid's walking back to the car, he's giving me the eyes. You know what I mean? He's looking at me like this is not good. You know what I mean? You know what look I'm talking about? He's looking at me like this. He's like that, walking, you know what I mean? So in my head, I'm like, ooh, this is probably not great, right? The kid comes out of the 7-Eleven, and the cop's, like, standing, how do I explain this? He was, like, 4 feet in front of the car, a little off to the left, right? Like, he wasn't blocking us in with his body, but he wasn't, just letting us go, you know what I mean? So the kid comes out of the 7-Eleven, the driver, and he's about to get in the driver's seat, and the cop's like, let me talk to you for a second, right? The kid's not trying to listen. He gets in the car and turns it on, right? The cop comes over, and he's like, roll down your window, like, you know what I mean? And the kid rolls down the window, and he's like, I saw you guys, like, driving in here. You guys were going way too fast. You need to be more careful, right? This kid was dumb as fuck. He just started arguing with them. I don't remember the exact words he said, but it made me tense up. Like, I've met some kids that'll talk back to cops, you know what I mean? But this kid was like, how do I explain it? He was, like, rude, you know what I mean? He was like, fucking whatever, man. That's bullshit. Like, I was just driving. Like, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, he's just being a dick, right? And I'm sitting back in the back seat like this. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. Like, I don't know what's about to happen, but this is not about to be good, right? And he's like, come out of the car here for a second, right? And the guy gets out of the car, the driver, right? And I'm looking at the kid in the passenger seat, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I might run. That's what I said, right? I was nervous as fuck. I didn't think I'd actually do it. And I don't think the kid thought I would do it, right? I was like, do you want to run? And he's like, no, let's just sit here and see what happens, right? But I had a really bad feeling. I don't know why. I only had nicotine on me, so it's not like I would have gotten in that much trouble, but I had a bad feeling, you know what I mean? I just had a feeling that, like, this kid is not going to talk his way out of it. Like, he's not going to talk his way out of this. And either I'm going to have to get picked up by, like, my mom or something, or, like, the cop's going to have to drive me home, right? So I made a quick second decision. And I'm like, should I run? Because he's talking to this kid to the left, right? He's talking between our car and the cop car, which there's, like, 2 spots. So I'm thinking, like, if he's talking to this kid and I take off, he's not going to leave the driver, right? That's what I was thinking. I didn't know if he would chase me, right? So my heart's beating 1,000 miles per minute, right? Just picture you're with me here. I'm in the back seat. My right hand is on the nozzle thing, you know, to open the door, like the unlock thing, like you pull to open the door. I'm just sitting there with my hand on it, and my hand's shaking. My heart's beating. I'm like, I don't know if I should go, right? And then finally I just went. I look to the left, and he's like talking to him. The cop's not facing me, you know what I mean? Like, the back of his head is looking at the kid. He's talking to the kid. I just opened the door, shut it, and just started running, right? Now, you may be wondering, how did I end up in a dumpster? Well, this is how. So I run to the left, right? Or no, I run to I get out of the car to the right, and then I kind of take a quick left and run up the street, you know what I mean? Now, the way this goes is we're in, like, a little strip mall thing, right? So the only thing that's around us is all these, like, little stores and businesses, and then it's neighborhoods, right? I sprint to the neighborhoods, right? I start running through yards. Luckily, these are, like, I don't want to say rich houses, but wealthy, you know what I mean? They have big yards and they don't have fences. So I cut through, like, 2 houses, and I look back to see if he's chasing me. I couldn't tell, right? I literally couldn't tell. But my adrenaline was going so much, and the last thing I wanted to do was get caught, because I had a feeling then it would cause some shit, right? And the whole time I'm running, I'm like, oh, this might have been a mistake, right? And I don't know why I did this. What I should have done, because I was running down a street, like I turned into a neighborhood, I should have just kept going straight. But for some reason, I thought in my head, like, let me cut over and go behind the buildings that we were just at, right? Because there's no way he'll be expecting me to be behind the buildings, you know? And I was going to, like, try to maneuver it around so I could still see what was going on, right? Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was turning into some GTA shit, right? So I run behind the buildings, and I'm trying to cut over, right? Because I'm behind, I'm behind the pizza place and the driving school, right? And there's a 7-Eleven over here. But the problem is, this little strip mall part has, like, store, pizza place, right? And then there's nothing here. There's, like, it's just open. Like, you can see everything, right? And then it's 7-Eleven and something else, right? But there's all this open space. So if I walk through there and the cop is standing where he was when I ran, he's gonna see me, right? So I'm trying to, like, put my shoulder against the wall, like a fucking army guy about to enter a house, right? I'm like this up against the wall, like, trying to peek, just trying to see if he's there, right? And I look and I don't see him, so I try to run quickly to get behind the 7-Eleven, and he's standing, like, on the inside of the, he's standing, like, underneath, like, the rain protector thing, but where the pizza place is, right? So I catch a glimpse of him, and I have a feeling he caught a glimpse of me, right? So now I'm paranoid again. I start running. I start taking off, right? And I'm trying to get around now to just get back on the sidewalk and, like, go all the way around them, you know? But instead of turning right, I just look to my left and I see a dumpster behind the 7-Eleven, right? And instantly in my mind, I was like, just jump in, right? Because if he does come around the corner chasing me, he's going to think I just kept running, you know? So I hop in there and I wait a second and I don't hear any running and I wait some longer, right? Now here's where it gets disgusting. I was sitting basically on like an opened trash bag, right? So I was like, I do not want to be sitting on this, right? And I was worried about rats too. So I moved my left foot over to try to like, I don't know. I kind of wanted my foot on the bottom of the dumpster, you know? So if I needed to, I could like launch myself out of there, like try to run still if he caught me. I put my left foot down and it's just wet. Like it's just sticky wetness and it was hot. It was like hot water that I stepped in. It was so gross, dude. Just dumpster liquid, right? The moment I stepped in that, my whole mindset changed. It wasn't about getting away anymore. It was, I need to get out of this fucking dumpster and go get this shit off my foot, whatever it is. It just felt like toxins. Like, it just felt wrong, you know? It was warm. And I wait like maybe 5 more minutes. I don't hear anything. I climb out of the dumpster. I look and my friend's car's gone and the cop car's gone, right? So I call the kid and I'm like, what happened? What happened? He's like, you know, we're all good. We got away. Why did you run? Like, you didn't need to run. And I was like, I was paranoid, right? And I tell them the story about how I just stepped in the fucking dumpster water. They're laughing at me. And I'm like, how'd you get out of that? Like, it seemed like you were arguing with the dude. And he's like, he had no reason to pull us over. He kept saying he saw us drive aggressive, but why didn't he pull us over then, right? So the kid had a point, but also, like, it was unnecessary. It was also unnecessary for me to run, but I only ran because he was being aggressive towards the cop. I thought something was going to happen, but got away. At what cost? It was gross. I probably didn't need to. Just nasty. But hope you guys enjoyed. My hair looked fucking wild today, but what are you going to do? Make sure you sub, share, like, comment, all that. Check out my other stories. Football prediction videos coming in like a week. September 7th. So that's like a week from now. Something like that. So check that out. Check the puppy videos out. I'll post after this. And I'll get a gaming video in there too. Thank you for watching. Be safe and yeah, peace out, man.